Hey guys, it's Monday, 4:56 p.m. on October 15th, 2018, and I've already had to redo this video twice because I started yelling. I get really, really mad about this. It's as if the people in California have become mental paraplegics. Not only have they resigned over their autonomy to even collect a barrel of rainwater, but now they have their overlords telling them that they must stop having their power. Their power utility company, PG&E, has told them that concerned about down power lines sparking wildfires to major California utilities for the first time cut power to some customers amid what? Amid high winds. Okay, well, here's the thing, you guys. High winds is kind of a subjective term, right? It's not like they're saying hurricane winds, but here's the thing. In Truth by Grace knows how to trace winds better than anybody. So let's go to California and see if we can use this term, this subjective term of amid high winds, to see if that fits anywhere. Now, you may be thinking, oh, but in Truth by Grace, if the power's been shut off, how can we read the high winds? And I will tell you, well, my faithful listeners, here's how it works. Personal weather stations are totally awesome. You buy them at places like Best Buy and Battery Plus stores and Radio Shack, if they still have those stores. And you buy batteries, and you put the batteries in, and you hook you hook the data collecting box outside your building. And on the inside of your building, you put the batteries in, and you have a receiver. And that receiver is also a transmitter, and that transmitter feeds to a local central base, something probably I would guess on a county level or a city level, that feeds the received information to the airport, and the airport puts it in to the general feed, data feed, that is plotted according to just general data for maps and stuff, and it's collected at airports, at Intellicast, at Weather Underground, and a variety of places like that. And since these little instruments are both personal and local, so long as there's a battery in there, it doesn't matter what's happened anywhere else in the world, power can be shut off for months, these little personal weather stations will continue to feed the data. So, fortunately for us, though this entire area seems to be in the dark, what we can do is we can go to the personal wind speed indicators and see what it's like at Grandma's house. Well, right now in Skyhawk, Rincon Valley, it is 2 miles an hour. I'm just going to blitz through a couple of these. We have 0 mile an hour in Spring Mountain. We have 0 mile an hour in Gates Road, 1 mile an hour, 2 mile an hour Upper Brush Creek, 0 mile an hour, 4 mile an hour, 0, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 4, 2, 0, 0, 2, 2, 0. You notice an amazing consistency here. 0, 5, 0, 1. I've taken this 5. I'm taking this almost all the way over to the coast. I'm showing you guys that within, what, a good, I don't know how many miles this is, a good chunk of distance across this part of the state, you guys, there are no wind speeds whatsoever. I mean, you can't even pretend that these are high winds, guys. We're talking 1 mile an hour. And nobody on this earth defines high wind speeds at 0. We may not agree on a hurricane. You people may want to redefine English language so that a hurricane is 36 mile an hour winds. And if that pathology of the dictionary exists in your own personal bias, then so be it. But nobody in their right mind defines wind speeds of 0 miles an hour as a justification for shutting off your power. So why am I doing this? Well, here's the thing, guys. Why do I do this at all? Why? Because you guys, they're lying to you. They are lying to you, and we have the instruments to detect that you are being lied to. You know, you guys, back in the day, back in Hitler's Germany, if you notice any of the old pictures of those Holocaust people, whether they were Jews or whether they were just the derelicts of society or whoever they bothered to round up and put on those trains to get into those concentration working camps, they got those people to pack up their bags and go willingly. Now, if you think about that, there were people who lived outside those train depots where those prisoners were gathered and their suitcases were stacked up to the top of the train depot porches. and people would walk back and forth on there from their journeys to and from work, and notice that all these suitcases had accumulated on the terminals, and nobody asked a question. Nobody wondered why. At least if they did, they didn't ask it out loud. Maybe because they didn't have the internet and the anonymity behind a computer screen to scream out to the world and say, look, people, they're lying to you. Don't get on the trains. Don't get on the train. The place where these things are taking you is going to kill you. But we have that ability now. Not only that, you guys, but we have the instant ability right now to tell you they are lying to you. The wind speeds in Berryessa Highlands is 3 miles an hour right this second, folks. 3 miles an hour. Sonoma? How are the high winds in Sonoma? Well, not so high at 2 miles an hour. How about Diamond A? I don't know where that is. That's very low. All these areas, guys, there's no wind here. 3 miles an hour. I've shown you almost all, oh my gosh, Sonoma Raceway. The wind speeds are a blustery 8 miles an hour. 5 miles an hour at Black Point. Birdell Terrace, 0 miles an hour. I can't even pronounce that. Petaluma. 1 mile an hour. See, guys, the reason I do this is to show you that you're being lied to. Now, whether people are going to listen to it or not, I don't know. I think the people who are going to listen to this already know that they're being lied to. And the reason they listen to this channel is because they like the confirmation that they know something is wrong. And here's a way to catch them in the tracks of those people who are lying to us. And to share the information with others. The rest of the people, they want to be lied to. It says in John 3 that men love darkness rather than light because their deeds are evil. And everyone who does evil hates the light and doesn't come towards the light because they know that they're going to be caught and they're going to be reproved for that information. But those of us who love truth, we all come to the light, that our deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God. That's the same verse, there's the same section of verses where Jesus says, unless you be born again, you can't even see the kingdom of God. Now you have to be born of water and of the Spirit so that you can enter into the kingdom of God. I hope you guys will read John 3 also. Anyway, so I just thought I'd tell you guys why I love personal weather stations and how they work, and tell you that in peep, beep, boop, 10 mile an hour winds. Well, there we have our high speeds of winds right there. East side, 2 mile an hour. 1 mile an hour. So that's that, guys. I just thought I'd share with you that there's no high speed here. They are lying to the people in California. And I hope you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.